Hi everybody, my name's Anthony Rees, and today I'm going to give you a demonstration, a quick introduction into Chef Automate on version 1.7.10. So that's the latest version out at the moment as of making this video. Now, Chef Automate has the ability to be able to run on multiple platforms. So what I mean by that is that if you have an on-premise environment, such as a VMware environment or Hyper-V, or you're utilizing cloud as well, so it could be AWS, Azure, or even Azure on-prem, which is Azure Stack, and Google. You have the ability to be able to manage your nodes, so which are the instances running on those particular environments, and of course the compliance. And I'll take you through all, so both areas of that today. So Chef Automate really brings together two of the major projects within Chef. So Chef's probably most famous for infrastructure as code, and that's the original Chef project. But one of the newer projects that you may not be as familiar with is InSpec. And InSpec, so you can see it at inspec.io, and InSpec is your continuous compliance, your compliance as code essentially. And we'll look at both of those today. So the environment that I've got running here consists of a set of nodes. I've got 10 in this environment at the moment. And these 10 nodes are a combination of some Windows machines. The build nodes here are actually my continuous delivery environment itself. And then I've also got some Ubuntu machines that are running here as well, and we'll use them for demonstration purposes. Now, in terms of the node area, we have the ability to be able to drill into these particular nodes, and you immediately get a lot of information through Chef Automate. So I can see exactly what's run on these particular machines, and I can also see, because Chef Automate captures all of the metadata, I have the ability to be able to see all of the information that is given to me from Chef on this particular Windows machine, for example, and it does the same for Linux as well. And really, this is a set of gold, right? So, just as an example, if you wanted to know what's been installed on this Windows machine, I can quite easily here see everything that's been installed on this Windows machine since it's been stood up, just by having a look at the packages. But as you can tell, quite simply, you can get all of the information in terms of IP addresses and IIS information, and this particular environment's running in EC2, but it's going to give you all of the domain information, etc., etc. And this is really, really handy. Plus, I can also see the run list, so I know exactly what is running on each one of my particular machines. This is a Windows machine, so it's going to have Windows-based audits and Windows-based Chef client tasks running against it. But similarly, if I went and took a look at one of my Linux-based nodes, we would see that the run list is slightly different, but it's more of a Linux-based set of cookbooks that I've had running against it. And I can tell whether they've passed, whether they've succeeded, have I had any failed events, and things like that. So it really gives you a consolidated dashboard or a view into your Chef environment. But the interesting part about it is really the compliance side. So I've got 6 nodes here that I'm running compliance on. I've got 2 Windows nodes. I've got one which is failing at the moment and one which is passing. So if we go in and take a look at the Windows environment, you will see that this particular demonstration is showing that we've got issues with SSL and TLS. And I've also set up exactly the same for my Ubuntu machines as well. So if we go and check those, yep, we've got SSL failures and TLS failures too. And what I did was I actually went and fixed one of the Windows machines just so that I could show you that you can do it just as easily with Windows as you can with Linux. But we'll actually go and fix those Linux machines live. But you can see that all I did for this particular passing machine is I ran a set of Chef cookbooks to go and remediate the SSL and TLS issues that I had. But this particular dashboard gives us the ability to see our nodes, and it also gives us the ability to see from a compliance perspective in terms of, are our nodes compliance from a security perspective? Are they meeting, for example, the Center for Internet Security, the CIS-based benchmarks? And We have a number of these which ship out of the box. So there's 88 currently in this particular version that ship out of the box. Everything from AIX to Amazon Linux to Apache to CentOS Linux to HP Oracle-based benchmarks as well, Red Hat benchmarks, and then SUSE, Ubuntu, which we've already spoken about. Windows-based benchmarks for CIS too. So there's a plethora of them that you get completely out of the box, and then you're able to pick and choose what you want and be able to apply those. So what do these actual scans look like? Well, let's have a quick look at them. They're code at the end of the day. And if we go and take a look at, let's go back into the one that we had a look at before, and we take a look at it. So it gives us an error message which is readable, and we also have the ability to be able to view the source code. And it's a fairly simple check here, and basically what it's doing is it's checking in terms of SSL3, okay? And we're trying to find out whether it is or it isn't enabled in this particular case. And we'll actually go off and fix this in a moment. But what InSpec gives you here as part of Chef Automate is the ability to be able to scan your instances, scan your nodes essentially, and to be able to report on them. So you can see everything in your cloud environment and everything in your on-premise environments. You might be using VMware, et cetera, and you can see it all from one particular place. And if you do have, like I have here, I have some issues, right, that I need to go and fix. We can detect those issues using the compliance section of Chef Automate, and we can remediate them using Chef. So how do we go about doing it? Well, let's go and fix these, and we're going to use the integrated workflow or continuous integration, continuous delivery pipeline that's actually part of Chef Automate. So that comes as part of it. It's completely as standard. So in order to go and fix this, we'll jump into a code editor. Now I know where this particular error is, and we knew that it was something to do with the SSL, right? So we have a recipe which has gone and applied on these Ubuntu machines all of the SSL and TLS updates, and I've deliberately not applied a couple. So in the template, I'm going to re-enable those and turn them back on again, which is going to go and fix our problem. Okay, so it's all code, of course. So I'm going to make the changes. Okay. I'll fix those. I'll fix the problem essentially in the code, and because I'm a good programmer, I'm going to update the version. I'm actually not a good programmer, but I'm going to pretend that I am for you. All right, I'm going to update that particular version as well. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and test it locally. Okay, so we use Test Kitchen to be able to do that. So if I do a kitchen list, we'll see that I've already gone and run this before. And what you can do is, before I apply anything in any of my upper environments, I'm going to test this thing completely locally and just make sure that it's okay. So I'm going to do a kitchen converge. Right. And what that's doing now is it's doing a local build of that, and it's going to go and test it and make sure that it's all okay and that it's fine. In the interests of time, I probably would have, after the converge, I would have then gone and done a kitchen verify, which would have run all of my test cases and make sure that they all passed. But I'm going to assume that everything's okay and that it's fine and that it's all going to pass. And you can see all of this running in the background to do that. So we won't go through all of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually kick off the CI CD pipeline and get that actually moving for us. Okay, so what I'll do then is I'll do a git add. Okay, so I'm going to add my two changes, and then I'm going to do a git commit. SSL updates. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick off that delivery pipeline. Okay, so I'll do a delivery review, and that's going to tell Chef Automate to go and take this, and it's going to tell it to go and apply those changes back on my on my Ubuntu machines. And hopefully if everything goes to plan, they'll pass then. Now, just while that's happening, because eventually it's going to move through these steps and it's going to ask me to approve them, and it's going to ask me to go through the different parts of the CI pipeline. But in terms of the review itself, we can actually see the change that I made, and we can see what was the change that I made, and what was the old code, and what was the new code. What did I change it to? And that, of course, can be part of the review process. It's a multi-tenanted environment, so that means that I can have my work colleague, my pretend work colleague over here, to be able to review my code changes, and of course be able to approve them and push them through the workflow. The workflow, of course, is completely customizable. Now, it's actually come back and asked me to approve this. I'm going to commit the ultimate sin. I'm the administrator here, and I'm actually going to approve my own code change. So anyway, let's go ahead and do it. It's not exactly the greatest thing to be doing, but as I said before, it is multi-tenanted, and it does give you the ability for other people to perform correct code reviews. And you can also, of course, block people from reviewing their own code. I haven't done that because it's a little bit difficult for me to do a single demo, of course, when there's only me here to review my own code. So it's actually gone and done the verify. So that verify that I was talking about before, which is the local verification, it's gone and finished that. It's doing the build now, and it's now going and it's moving into my upper environments. So it's gone off the local environment. It's now moving, because it's passed the tests, asked for approval to be commit and to push through into the upper environments, and it's going to go and do those particular tests there, and then it will ask me if I'm happy for it to go and deliver. And of course, these could all be different people to go through and to do all of that. So it's now awaiting our delivery phase here. Once that delivery phase is completed, we'll then be able to go and check to see if everything was all right. So let's deliver that SSL update, which is going to push it through into the rest of the environment. So if we go back and check our nodes, so if you remember, we've got our nodes here in terms of our 10 node count. So here's all of our nodes, our Windows machines and our Ubuntu machines. And if we go and check the compliance on these particular nodes, you'll see now that everything's compliant now, except for that one initial Windows machine that I used as a demonstration to show you before about how you can go and fix it. But we can now see that the Ubuntu-based machines are all fixed now. They're all passing. So of course you can write your own controls to be able to do your own based checks. But of course we have many of them out of the box, and the ability for you to be able to use them. So as I showed you before, you can use them out of the profile store. It comes with Chef Automate. And of course, you can also choose just to perform the scans themselves without the remediation, and that's done through the scanner. And the scanner allows you to be able to add nodes and add jobs. So you can go through and you can manually add your nodes individually and perform scans against them. So in the Windows environment, it'll use WinRM, and in the Linux environment, it uses SSH. So it's not obtrusive, and you can do it without an agent, which is really cool. The workflow area that I showed you, of course, is highly customizable, and of course, with every good continuous delivery and continuous integration rig, allows you to be able to have multiple pipelines as well. I hope this was helpful. It's just a really short demonstration on Chef Automate. If you've got questions, please let me know, or you can grab me on Twitter. I'm happy to help you out. Have a great day.